Asamoah Gyan, karibu sana Tanzania. Do you know what you're supposed to say?
No.
Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
I have to say asante sana.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
Enjoying retirement?
Yeah, I'm enjoying retirement. Sometimes I miss football. When I see some generation making some petty mistakes that I feel like it should be done in the right way, it makes me miss football. But I'm enjoying my retirement, so it's good.
But what have you been up to?
A lot. I've been traveling a lot, you know, meeting head of states. You know, we've got a project because I'm an ambassador for a company called Secure, you know, which we travel all over Africa to make sure it's actually a company that detects diseases. You know, during the pandemic and everything, it was formed during the pandemic. So I'm an ambassador for Secure. So, and obviously I have my personal business that I do, you know, that I run a lot, you know, so it's been very, very busy, but I'm enjoying it. I don't want to stay at one place.
Yeah.
Because of the depression and everything. You know, so I had to
but it's not as busy as when you used to play football.
Yeah, when I used to play, I was busy. You know, I only have like 3 weeks in a year off. So it's been like strictly football for 10 months, and then you go for holidays for 3 weeks, maximum 1 month, and then you start the season again. For my whole, I would say, first phase of my life, because we always say life begins at 40.
Yes.
You know, so I think the first phase of my life has been busy with traveling and playing, and yeah, I enjoyed it though, because it's what God gave me, you know, my talent and everything. And
the family must be happy to see more of you now.
Yeah. My family is happy. You know, everybody around me is happy. Everybody is appreciative, and I'm also appreciative for their support and everybody, even the fans, those who are very closer to me. And for all these years, the fans have given me love. You know, it was like a mixed thing. Critics, love, everything. You know, it comes with the territory. Yeah. So I really enjoyed my time playing.
You said that you miss playing football. You're not that old, you know. Do you think you might change your mind and come out of retirement now that the Cup of Nations is going to be played here in East Africa?
I have to accept it in good faith. It took me 2 years to make that decision because I couldn't maintain my weight. The dedication was gone. You know, when I mean that the dedication was gone, I feel like sometimes I wake up in the morning and I don't want to train.
Why does that happen?
It happens. It comes with authority, because sometimes you might be young, but age is just a number. It's all about experience. You know, I got into the scene when I was 17 years.
Yes.
And then I've played a lot of things, and I felt like I have nothing to prove to anyone again. Although age-wise, I could still play. But I'm somebody who is very, very competitive. You know, I don't get tired. I don't feel like getting tired, you know, but it got to a time, you know, when I lost that dedication, like getting up in the morning, going to the beach to run. I feel like, you know, I don't want anybody to control me again. Like, why are you late? Why are you this? And I'm somebody who don't want my colleagues to do that. So if I start thinking like that, then I'm gonna start making mistakes. So I had to just call it a day because I'm very, very competitive. So if I feel that laziness, then I have to just give it.
You've had 2 decades of such a decorated career. I mean, if you had to relive your career again, what would you do differently?
Do differently? I think all my decisions I made in my career has been good. Sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes you listen to people's advice, which goes wrong. And sometimes you feel like, okay, why didn't I take my own decision? And then if I crash, then I know this is my decision. But maybe you take somebody's decision and then you get it wrong. And then the same people come and tell you sorry, you know, all these things in my career. And for me, I would say all the decisions I took has been very, very good for me. Except, you know, playing time, I think the penalty miss and everything. That is what I feel like I can do something differently in 2010, that penalty miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later on, but in your club career, which one would you say was the best for you?
Very surprisingly and interestingly, I played in France, I played in Italy, I played in England, you know, top leagues.
Technically, all over the world.
Yeah, and surprisingly, where I enjoyed most was the UAE.
Really?
Yes, it was the UAE, and all my career, UAE was the country that I stayed for long. And surprisingly, I played my best football also there. Although people saw me playing best football in Europe, all over the world, but where I enjoyed most was the UAE.
Most African footballers believe that when they go to play in Europe, it's the best place to go. What would you tell a young footballer right now who wants to go and play football in Europe?
Yes, if you want to play football in Europe, you have to be more professional, you have to be dedicated, and you have to work hard. We have different places and different culture, but Europe is tough. Europe is tough. It's not a plate on a silver platter. Yeah. It's something you have to work for. And the climate, you know, every time you go to the winter, you go to the summer, spring, and everything. So you have to deal with all this. My time, I used to struggle a lot when it comes to winter.
Yeah.
You know, I struggle a lot. My form goes down when it comes to winter. So my advice to the young ones is, if you want to play in Europe, you have to be more dedicated. You should focus on only football, nothing else, because that is what makes you. They're gonna take care of you. They're gonna pay you. You're gonna live there literally in your life. So everything has to be strictly by football, nothing else.
You played the World Cup, the last World Cup in Qatar. I mean, from an African view, when do you think an African team is going to win the World Cup? Is it anytime soon?
For me, this is a good question. This is what every African is hoping for. We want an African country to lift the World Cup. And it's coming gradually. Morocco went to the semi-final. You know, if I might be right, everybody was rooting for Morocco because everybody wants an African country to win a World Cup. So it's like step by step. We were close in 2010. We went to this quarterfinal, and Morocco is now in the semi-final. What we need is more infrastructure in African football, and definitely one day an African country will lift the trophy. But we have a long way to go. We need to improve in our infrastructure and invest more in the game in Africa.
In football. I'm just wondering, with all the talent that Africa has to offer, why is it that Africa is struggling to perform very well in the world?
Yeah, we always say hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard. You know, we have the talent, you know, but we are not investing enough in football. You know, when you go to Europe, parents take their kids to train, put them in the car, go. They are investing in their kids. You know, and also the big men are also investing a lot, building academies, building pitches everywhere. You know, they've invested in the game, and this is what is bringing them success. Africa, we are gifted. Everybody knows Africa is gifted when it comes to talent, but the infrastructure is not up to standard as the way we want. We have to invest more in the game, and I'm sure it's going to work. And if you watch Morocco, when you go to Morocco right now, they are investing a lot, and this is what happened in the World Cup. Everybody saw results in the World Cup. Senegal is doing the same thing. So gradually, African countries will learn how to invest because we have the talent already.
Why are we not investing?
It's all about financial. And I think the leaders have to put their feet down and then look into sports, because sports is the most powerful in the world right now. It brings people together. Sometimes when, example in Qatar, when you went to Qatar in the World Cup, countries who are playing against each other, you see outside the stadium, it's so amazing how they come together, singing to each other, talking to each other. All the countries come together when it comes to sports. And this is what Africa should invest. And a lot of people can also benefit through sports. So in the sports fraternity, I think because it's so powerful, our leaders should understand that and build that infrastructure in Africa to make sure we bring people together and then to make Africa very, very powerful through sports. That is my opinion, and I feel like sports is number one for me, and everybody can testify that. So this is where we should channel our mind to for this youth and then for this new generation.
I'm going to take you back to 2010. You highlighted that. Do 14 years on, do people still stop you in the streets and ask you about the penalty miss?
Even yesterday, it's crazy. Everywhere I go. Sometimes people recognize the face and they say, "Is that him?" And I was like, "Yes, it's me." Like, they even asked me how do I feel about that penalty miss, and I was like, "This is football. We're bound to make mistakes." And it's been like 14 years now, and it's like a tattoo on my body. You know, everywhere I go, it's that stain in my body that people will never forget, because it's an historic thing that Africa would have been, Ghana would have been the first country to qualify to the semi-final in the World Cup, and it happened. And personally, when I'm alone, it always refreshes my mind. Like,
and that's what I mean. How do you deal with that? How did you deal with it then? How are you dealing with it now? Do you get any professional help?
Mentally, I'm very strong. Mentally, sometimes people even abuse me back home on social media, and that is the only thing people can abuse me of. You cannot say I'm a bad player.
No.
You know, people know what I'm capable of. But sometimes when people are upset and they want to attack you, they just use that. They'll say, "Why did you miss the penalty?" You know, it's like they try to abuse you with that. And I feel like that's the only thing people can even say about me negatively. So I say, okay, it comes with the territory. I have to deal with that, because whether I like it or not, it has happened.
How do you deal with it? I mean, emotionally, because it must be draining.
Before, yes, but now I feel like, okay, it's part of human. Nobody's perfect. A lot of great players who I can even testify who was even better than me missed crucial penalty. You know, but I feel like, okay, those people who always say that are ignorant. They don't know anything about football. And sometimes you go even their pages and then they have like 2 followers. You know, so I can see, okay, maybe it's the same people doing that, because those who are very busy, who knows life, who bring impact in Africa, don't even do that. Yeah. You know, you go to people's pages and you go, "Oh, this is a new page." You can see 5 followers saying a lot of abusive words. And I came to understand, okay, it's somebody trying to do that. But on the street, the love I receive is amazing. And that's what keeps me going.
I mean, yeah, social media can be quite brutal. Did at any point, did you ever blame yourself for that miss?
No, I didn't blame myself at all, because I understand the game, and I feel like it's part of human nature. Because that tournament, you know, I scored through a penalty in the first game, the second game, and then the third game I scored, and then the 1/16 I scored quarterfinals. That is when I missed the penalty. So I feel like, okay, no one is perfect. You won't get it right every time. You know, so that is what motivates me a lot. And
does it keep you awake at night? Do you get those moments that you relieve that situation and wake up in the middle of the night and think, What just happened?
Yes, it has happened a couple of times. When I'm alone, sometimes in the room, as a normal human being, you need to just think about your life, how you want your life to be, think about a lot of things. And it happens. It occurs to me. I was like, whoa, I wish the world has gone reversed for me to just correct that situation, because I feel like nobody is perfect. I've done everything right except that miss, because that is what people can talk to me about negatively when it comes to my game. That is the only thing.
Crown Media. Hapa ni nyumbani.